Hello everyone, so welcome back. So in the previous video we have seen how to create a data flow, right? So even we have seen the control flow and even basic data conversion. So even I was explaining about the project structure as well, right? So meanwhile I'll just open all the uh, applications. So if I just go labs, so I'll just better search. So yeah, Microsoft SQL Server. And Visual Studio 2017. Yeah, so I was working under this project, right? So customer data. So I'll just open this. And in the previous lecture, I was explaining about the project structure, right? Yeah. So we have retext. So I told like we have a solution. So under solution, we have a multiple projects, and under the multiple projects, we have a dot a dtsx file, right? So basically, what does this file consists? So file consists all these components, okay, which is required to build this project, right? And even it's I said it's XML, right? So if you just right click and click on the view code, okay, you can see this everything is XML. Okay, so here you can see this is XML file. Okay, yeah. Fine. So now what we'll do is, meanwhile, I'll just see in the database what we have. So I have created this customer data warehouse. So inside this we have the tables, and the tables is this. Let's see if we have any data inside this. Okay, so we have the data. Fine. Okay, so now what we'll do is, so let's try to do perform like some of the basic transformation, like whatever the data we have under the customer. Okay, so let's try to make all this customer name as a capital. Okay, so if I want to make all this capitals, okay, we can do it. Okay, with help of the derived column. Okay, so let's quickly do that. Okay, so that will be a hands-on for you to practice how to do the basic conversions. Okay, fine. uh, so what I'll do is, so we have converted the data. So after the conversion, so I'll just drag this here. First I'll just disconnect this connection. So before sending into destination, I want to convert the customer name to into caps, right? So in the common section we have something called derived column. Okay, so I'll just drag this. So I'll just connect this data conversion to derived column, and from so I'll just rename this derived column to capital customer name to caps. Fine. Okay, and I need to send it to the destination. Fine. So let's try to configure this. So here we have this wizard. Okay, so first what is the derived column name? I need to select, then the derived column name and the derived column and the expression. Fine. So first so I'll be selecting the customer name, and so I'll just rename this as caps customer name. And the expression, so you can see like how I'll just try to build the expression. So here we have a different functions. Okay, so we have mathematical functions, we have a string functions, date time functions, null functions, typecast, and we have a different operators. When I try to expand, so mathematical functions, so I can just perform, so depending on the which column you're doing and what is the transformation you're doing, so based on that you can just select. Okay, so whatever the functions you require, like if you want to do power, okay, for the entire column, or if you want to do square, or if you want to find the square root. Okay, so it includes everything in the mathematical functions. Next we have string functions. So here again we have different functions here, like we have a lower, trim, replace, reverse, right? So what are so what we need to convert it, right? So you can see like we have function here called upper. Okay, so we can just do this, right? So let's try to the other functions. So this is the datetime functions. Similarly, this is null functions. So you can see all null functions, and this is the typecasts, and this is the operators. We have a different operators. So this is the cost customer name. So I want to do upper. So I'll just drag this upper in the expression, and on which column I need to do it? I need to do it on the customer name, right? So copy of customer name. Why copy of customer name? Because in our diagram you can see, right? So here we have first converting the customer name to the Unicode, then we are sending that into the expression, right? So it's not customer name, it's a copy of customer name. Okay, so I'll just drag and drop it here. Fine. So caps of customer name, and so I want to convert the copy of the customer name. Fine, I'll just click on to this. Okay, and here I need to do mapping, right? So if I just come here, so it's not copy of customer name this time, so I need caps of customer name, right? So it is mapped to the destination. This is a customer name. I'll click OK. So I think I don't have any errors here. So let's first empty the database. So I'll just come here. So let's delete this. I'll just select and delete. So right now I don't have any data inside the table. Fine. So I'll just come here. So now let's try to run this. I hope this should work. Yeah. So all got executed. Fine. So now let's quickly go to the tables, and if I want to view the rows, yeah, so you can see all the data inside the customer name has been changed to capital letter. Fine. So this is how we perform the transformations. Okay, I just wanted to show you. So now let's what we'll do, even we'll do conditional split. So conditional split in the sense, like in our data you can see like we have the customer amount, right? So we have all this customer amount. Assume like if I want to split the data, okay, so wherever the data is 0 or wherever the customer amount is in negative, okay, so I want to split those data, right? So how I can just do it in the SSIS with help of customer split. We have a component called conditional split. With the help of the conditional split I can just do it. So what is the use case? So in our data we have a customer amount column, so I want to remove. So here you can see like I have a one record with the 0 customer amount. I don't have any negative. So first let's work with the 0. Okay, so if I want to remove this like in my database I don't want to store this 0 or negative customer amount. Okay, so how I can just do it? So let's come back here. Fine. So what we'll do, so I'll just exit this, stop debugging. So now I'll just make this down. Let's delete this. So before sending into destinations, what I need to do, I need to do a conditional split. So I'll just drag this over here. Fine. Yeah. So now so what I'll do, so from here, so whatever the data I'm just getting from the customer name caps, okay, I'm just passing to the conditional split, and from the conditional split I'll directly pass data to the destination. Fine. So now let's configure the conditional split. So here again, like we have all these functions like mathematical string, null type. Okay, so first I need to select, okay, what is the condition and what is the output name. So I'll give output name as error, or you can just give any name, error, and I want to give the condition. So what is the condition? So whatever I'm getting from the customer amount, you can see like how I just drag into the condition, or else if you are good in typing you can just type it. So anything is fine. So now what I'll do, I'll first drag this customer amount. I'm just writing the condition. So what is the condition? If the customer amount is less than 0, or, so where I can find or here, this is, and yeah, or customer amount is equal to 0. So this double equals is equal to 0. It's not single equal, right? So we are not assigning a value here, right? So we are just checking. So it's equal to 0. Okay, so then what? So I need to then I need to extract those data into the separate file or separate destination, right? So you can see like I'm when I just exit here, you can see like I'm able to see the error over here, right? So when I just hover onto this, so you can see error. So I'm getting error some if I just hover, you can see the data types WSTR and the DTI4 are incompatible. So if you remember, so when we created a table inside the database, we have kept this customer amount uh, in the form of string, right? So let's check that. So how to check the data type? So I'll just cancel this as of now. So if I just drag it here, so here we have converted the data, right? So we have just selected the customer code and the customer name. So if I just try to check this customer amount, so right now it is in the string format, okay, DTR string. So of course, like customer amount is not a string, right? So it's amount, okay. So of course we can't write expression like less than or greater than or equal to with respect to the string, right? So there should be a numeric data. So when we want to compare the two numeric values like less than, greater than, or any other values, fine. So so here I have a customer amount. So now the output alias is copy of the customer amount. So I want to change the data type to we have something called currency. You can see, so we have something called currency. I'll just convert to this currency. I'll click onto this. Okay, so I've just converted. So here I don't need any mapping, so it will come to the conditional split. So now instead of selecting directly the customer amount, and now I'll select the copy of customer amount. You're getting my point? Okay, again I'll just give error there. So name is error. um, Error amount I'll just give. Okay, yeah. So what is the condition? So I'll just take the copy of customer amount should be less than, if it is less than 0 or logical, or if copy of customer amount is equal to 0, equal to 0, fine. So anyone be careful with the sorry, brackets. Okay, you can see like I'm adding the brackets here. So I'll just add the bracket over here for the copy of customer amount, and here also I'll just add it one bracket. So if you are good in typing, you can just type it. Okay, here, and one I'll put the outside bracket because it's one condition, right? So after adding this, outside one bracket here, and one bracket here. So now if I try to exit, you can see like I'm not getting any error, right? So you can see right now it's in black color. Fine. So I'll click onto this. Okay, fine. So now so I have a conditional split. So I'll just disconnect this. So now if I just try to connect it, you can see like right now I'm just getting this and I'm just connecting to the OLEDB destination. So here it's asking, okay, so what is the output? Because we have configured two things, right? So one is error amount, one is the conditional split default output. So whatever the error we have, right? So it will be, there is one separate data, right? And we have one more that is regular data, right? So there is a conditional split default output. So of course I need to send the destination default output. Okay, so I'll just said okay. So where I need to send the so you can see like we have one more arrow here. So where I need to send the error column, so let's try to send that into flat file. So if I just search here, I can have flat file destination, so I'll just send to flat file. So I'll just configure here. Okay, so let's configure the flat file. So I'll create a new connection manager. I click OK. So I'll give name as error amount file or error amount data. Okay, so file name, I have not created a file name, so let's create a file name inside the downloads. I'll give error amount .txt. Okay, so this is what, fine. So I'll click on this. Okay, and okay, so let's try to do the mappings properly. So if I just come to the mapping, so here copy of customer to the customer code, copy of customer name to the customer name, copy of customer name, fine. Okay, so I think everything is set, fine. So in my data, so I have a one negative value. Okay, it should move to this flat file destination, fine. So let's test it. So even I'll just empty this. I'll just come here and let's execute this once again, and yeah, row got affected. So I'll just come here. So let's run. I hope this should work now. Yeah, so everything got executed. Yeah, okay, fine. So now first let's check the output. Okay, first let's check the destination file because there's the main thing we need to check, right? So I'll just come over here. So if I just go to the downloads and click on this error amount, you can see I'm able to find this error amount here, which has the zero error, zero amount. Fine. So if I just go to the here and let's initially we had 8, right? So if I just try to execute, you can see like right now we have a 7. So I don't have this data with whatever the data I had. So I don't have this data, that is Rohit. Fine. So this is what I'm getting in the error amount. So I executed twice. For that reason I'm just getting to it two times here. Okay, fine. Yeah, so I'll just exit this. So I hope you are getting right, so how to do the conversion, how to do the splitting, and assume like for example now what we'll do is assume like instead of customer amount, I'll change this 600 to, I'll write it as string now. Okay, I'll just save this, save this. Now if I just try to execute, I'll get an error. Why? In the data conversion, why? Because so in my data, so I've just given the customer amount as what, integer, but I've just sent it a string, right? So even we can just configure this type of errors also. This is called error handling. Okay, let's try to work onto this. So I'll just close this now. I'll just stop. So whenever you have this type of, like if you, for example, like whenever you are running, or if you want to gather all the error data into the separate column, you can just do it. Okay, so let's try to do that. So I'll just click on to this data conversion. Okay, so you can see like we have something called error, right? So this is the error line. Okay, so what I'll do is, so first so again I'll just take the file destination itself. Okay, so what I'm telling, so whatever the error you're getting in the data conversion, I just pass on to this file destination. So when I click, when I select, so it's telling, so which column. Okay, so which column, so there are the different errors. Okay, so you can see like when I have a copy of customer code, here it's a fail component. Okay, so error right now I'm working for the customer amount, right? So if I just click on a customer amount, when I select it, I don't, so if I want to ignore the failure, okay, so whenever you are collecting the data from the source, okay, if you have errors, if you want to ignore, I can just select this. If I want to redirect that particular rows to the separate destination, I can just do it. Okay, so or fail component, a fail component in the sense you'll get an error, whatever the error I'm getting right now here, it's like a fail component, right? So because I'm not able to execute the further blocks here, right? So I'm just configuring here. So before this, yeah, so in the data conversion, so what I'm doing, so so to enable, okay, to enable that error, okay, so configure errors, first I need to select this configure error output. So first I need to select which column. Okay, there is a customer amount, and what is the error here I need to do, I need to redirect, I need to redirect that row, because in the whenever I have such type of data, okay, when even though I have configured the customer amount as a integer or a money, okay, so whenever I'm getting a such type of data, okay, so what I need to do, I don't want this type of data to be passed on to destination. I need to collect in the separate file. Fine, so this is our requirement is, so I need to redirect that row. I'll just select okay. Fine, so even I'll just select okay here. So if I just go to file destination, so I'll just create a new destination. So connection manager, so here I'll give error string amount. Okay, so file, I'll create a new file, that is I have already error amount, so error string amount. I click open, so I'll just click OK. I'll click OK. Okay, so even though we have a mark here, so let's try to understand what is this mark. The number of inputs. Okay, so I need to do mapping. I'll just ignore this. Fine, so you can see, so this is what our entire flow is. So if I just, yeah, so so from here we are just reading the file, that is flat source file. Here I'm just doing the data conversion, like whichever the column it is in the non-Unicode, I'm converting in the Unicode. And meanwhile, so here I've just configured the error, that is, if I'm this is called error correction. Okay, so error handling. So this is called error handling. So if I'm having error in certain data, okay, so in some rows, so I can handle this way. So I need to configure, so which column. Okay, so after selecting the which column, I can just select. Okay, so what is the error I need to handle, whether it's a failure component or whether I need to redirect or if I want to ignore. Okay, so I need to perform all these things, and this is what I've just selected. That will do a basic like customer name capital, then it is conditional split, whatever we have just done, it will follow it. Okay, so let's try to do this. So meanwhile, I'll just come here and let's try to truncate the data here. Let's remove the data. I'll just execute once again. Okay, 7 was affected. So now let's run once again. Okay, so I'll just come here, so this should work. Finger crossed. Yeah, so it got executed. Fine. So now let's go to the output downloads. This is what the data string amount you can see. So we have this Raju, which is the 100 as in data which has been separated, right? So even if I just try to check this one more error amount, we have even thrice here because I run one more time. So Rohit has been separated. Okay, so even I can just check the from here also. So it was 7, so now it will be 6 because I have entered the wrong customer amount which is in the string format. Okay, so I hope you understood, right? So we have seen data flow, control flow, we have seen the data conversion, we have seen the conditional split, then error handling. Okay, these are all topics we have covered. Okay, so I hope you are understanding, and if you are finding any difficulty, let me in the discussion forum. Fine, so let's move on to the next lecture.